Good afternoon, teacher. Let me explain about this laboratory. This conclusion is very important to mention. Work with current AC and DC. When you work with current AC, it's important to identify the height and low because it's not the same when you work with DC because this current is a specific work with positive or negative. In this opportunity, when I read the schematic reading diagram, I identify this point specifically when I connect the current and the point in the ADC. Our system, I need to supply it with a 115 and 2 and and 25 voltage AC. This is a diagram with the current travel around different components to supply energy. I can see the first component is a DCS33 that supply 25 DC positive and negative. When before I mentioned this, it's important to identify this. Then this current supply a dynamic inverse. This dynamic inverse change the 26 to 115 ADC AC when the current travel around different components and a supply of energy ADC. ADC have two parts. The first part contain a part of A and part of B, and the second part is the part only B. After that, when I connect and supply of energy on our system, it's important to measure with use a multimeter because it's necessary to jump current in a specific point, because if the current jump down in specific points is a short of circuit, because when I exist short or circuit or cable open is a damage to the system. It's important to identify these errors. In this opportunity, I can see a down of voltage. For this reason, the current is very good. So, when I connect the points in the specific point, it's necessary to mention X, Y, and Z, because when I use this point, when I connect with the oscilloscope, I appear this sinusoidal signal. When I appear this sinusoidal signal, belong to calculate or measure the amplitude, the frequency of voltage peak to peak. Because it's necessary to mention too that this point work with synchron. We transmit the same signals with the synchros. These synchros work with 3 points and this appear in the oscilloscope. When I appear this signal in the oscilloscope, I belong to calculate the good or bad work with this component. On the other hand, can I have activity with a vacuum system? This vacuum system supply of vacuum have a relation to gyro or heading indicator, or maybe altitude indicator. And when I can see a bomb, a suction of bomb is localization in the motor. I can see when I go to the aircraft. Identify this bomb obstruction. This bomb obstruction is don't stay in good condition because the nozzle is not good and appear of corrosion in this part, and maybe the measure is not good or is not specific or exactly. I go to the aircraft, identify the filter. The filter supply of air to the different instrument, specifically, and before mentioned the gyro directional and the altitude indicator. And finally, identify when I start the suction work is the measure specific in the manual is between 4.5 until 5.1 because this measure is the current when the suction or when the system or vacuum system work is a good thing. So it is all, all my conclusion about vacuum system. So